Something I think about all the time is this conundrum that a lot of creators seem to be in. And I think about the difference between a successful YouTuber and an unsuccessful YouTuber. And in the space that we're in on this channel, we are constantly giving YouTube advice to people who are either just starting out and want to be successful, or people who feel like they've done a lot and have been unsuccessful so far. Well, today I wanted to share kind of a new way I've been thinking about this. And if you feel like you have been struggling on YouTube, you've been unsuccessful, then I'm hoping this new frame of reference will be helpful and it'll give you kind of a good starting point to making even better decisions for your channel. So first, let's start off with some interesting stats, because I think as we go through this, it'll start to paint the picture as to why so many YouTubers feel like they're unsuccessful. There's a number of reports like this, but the first one here is today's kids are 3 times more likely to aspire toward a career as a YouTuber rather than an astronaut, a new study finds. Toy production firm Lego surveyed 3,000 children between the ages of 8 and 12 in the UK, US, and China, as well as 326 parents who had children of that age range. Almost a third of kids in the survey said they wanted to be a YouTuber. Only 11% said astronaut. A recent article from the Washington Post says that camps are teaching kids to become YouTubers, and these are popping up all across the country. Another article with the headline, nearly 2/3 of Gen Z consider themselves content creators. The study basically says, while 65% of Gen Z respondents self-identified as video content creators, an impressive 40% of respondents overall considered themselves content creators. Now, I assume the difference there is video content creation versus all other types like blogging, image posts, things like that. The bottom line is that content creation as a job is becoming a thing that people strive to do when they grow up. Here's the thing though, while the response for kids probably used to be astronaut, there's a huge difference between being an astronaut and being a YouTuber. And I don't just mean the fact that astronauts go to space. If you want to be an astronaut or a firefighter, then there's going to be specific curriculums and steps you're going to take in order to achieve that career, right? Like if you want to be an astronaut, you're going to go through a lot of schooling. You're going to be following a specific engineering degree, most likely. There's all sorts of steps you're going to take, and eventually, by the end, you will hopefully be an astronaut, or at least be working in NASA. If you want to be a YouTube creator, you can certainly attend some of these camps. There might even be college curriculums in the future for becoming a content creator online. But you're not going to be able to just be a content creator by the time you get that degree unless you have something else. Simply saying, I'm going to be a YouTuber isn't enough. Let's say, for example, that you have somebody whose passion is building furniture, woodworking, things like that. They're going to have a much easier time than somebody whose passion is YouTuber. This person who builds furniture has a garage or a workshop full of tools and equipment, and they have a previous skill set, and they're probably pretty good at what they do, right? One day they wake up and decide, I enjoy this. It'd be kind of fun to like share it. Maybe I could also make a little bit of money on the side by recording myself making my furniture. Is that possible? Suddenly, along with table saws and things like that, their workshop now features a camera and a laptop. It's one of the tools they're using as part of their overall journey as a creator. If it's not clear already, the point I'm trying to make is that you need to have a passion beyond just the desire to be a creator, but it's okay to have that desire. It's still going to be the case for a lot of people that they will start there. My goal with this video is to help you find that passion, but before we get there, I just wanted to make it clear that nobody goes on YouTube thinking, gosh, I would love to find another YouTuber to watch today. So now with that out of the way, let's talk about identifying that passion, because I don't want you to sit there and think, well, this guy's saying this isn't for me, because that may not be the case. The beautiful thing about YouTube is literally just about anything could be a YouTube channel. The one easy thing we can start with is, what do you do outside of YouTube that you just really enjoy? The thing that maybe when you go to a friend's house, you just never shut up about. They get kind of tired of hearing you talk about it. Maybe it's an exercise routine. Maybe it's a series of books that you're super into right now, or maybe it's something you enjoy collecting. Let's take a look at Pat Flynn. He actually has a YouTube channel specifically focused on this kind of stuff that we make. He talks about YouTube growth and making money as a content creator. But Pat Flynn also has another passion, and that is collecting Pokemon cards. He was having so much fun with this that he spun up a new channel called Deep Pocket Monster. Pat obviously has a passion for creating content and making money online, and he also has other passions and other things he's interested in, and he found the time to start an entirely new channel and brand, and it's been really successful for him.
Although I'm fairly new to the space, like everything else I've done, I want to go deep with it. I have a new passion for this hobby, and the community here has been so welcoming already. And like everything, I want to make smart decisions. I want to make calculated decisions as I invest my money and build my collection. And I want to take you along the ride with me. and teach you everything that I'm learning too.
Once you identify what this passion is for you, from there, it's time to decide how you're going to actually approach this in the context of a YouTube channel. Are you going to be more of an entertainer who's going out and trying to complete entire sets of Pokemon cards or racing others to find the best card on the market? Or are you going to be more of an educator, helping new people get into Pokemon card collecting because it is actually really, really deep and complicated? Overall, your content needs to provide value to a viewer, and I know we say that a lot, but I just want to be clear what that means. That value doesn't inherently have to come from educating people on something. It can be just as valuable to entertain somebody as well. Let's look at another channel for an example here. Cook Show with Trevor is one of my new favorite shorts channels I've been watching a lot of. I would say the value they provide is entertainment, even though it is a cooking channel in essence. This is an entertainment cooking channel. And if you watch any of the shorts, it'll become clear what I mean. Essentially, you could tell Trevor is skilled at making pizza. And I'm not just saying that facetiously. Like, he's got an entire pizza oven, a professional setup, and when you watch him actually go through the process of cooking, you can tell he actually knows what he's doing. But Trevor is also incredibly funny, and so his shorts revolve around making pizzas that are just ridiculous and that no one would actually ever think to make or eat. My question for Trevor, if I could ask, would be, did you wake up one day and say, did you want to be a content creator and then you got into pizza making? Or did you wake up one day already knowing how to make pizzas and maybe even having some equipment and saying, oh, you know what? This would actually be really fun to record. My guess is it's the latter. Trevor already knew how to do this stuff. He may have already had some equipment and he decided to start making this into content. So figuring out how you're going to approach your passion on YouTube specifically is a key step in the journey to success here. The next thing you need to do is take this new fancy camera you bought or phone or whatever it might be and find a way to fit it into your setup without it being intrusive. Like the woodworking example I used earlier, your camera should be a tool in your workshop. It's not separate from your passion, it's just a part of you making your pizzas or building your furniture. Imagine that you have a passion for fishing, like Logan Anderson Fishing. Maybe your version of being a YouTuber is filming yourself, documenting yourself, going out on your next fishing trip. Sure, you want some notes and things to say. Your videos will still need to be about something specific, but your camera's gonna be out there on the boat with you and your fishing rod and your bait and tackle and everything you're gonna need to do the fishing part too. By now for Logan Anderson, the fishing part should be pretty easy. The content creation process is probably coming in a bit later on, right? It's not like Logan picked up a camera and said, now I got to learn how to fish. If you look at the oldest content from 4 years ago, you can see that we weren't even really using fancy thumbnails or anything like that. The first thumbnail is a point of view of just holding a fishing rod. And then if you go to the latest content, everything changes with prettier pictures and backgrounds, and we're really being specific about the type of bait we're using or the type of fishing rod we're using. I think what I'm really saying here is that YouTube can be a vehicle for turning another passion of yours into something that actually generates income. Think of it like gaming channels. Wouldn't you love to get paid to play video games? I think I've hammered the examples home enough, but the biggest reason the passion thing needs to be top of mind for you is because passion avoids burnout. Burnout is probably the biggest reason people quit YouTube. And it's not necessarily because you're burnt out of your passion for fishing. It's because you're burnt out of putting hours and hours into videos and having them get virtually no views. The people watching this right now who say, I do have a passion. I'm watching this and I make videos about a specific thing that I love. I'm still struggling. For those creators, my advice to you is to take a step back and ask yourself why you wanted to film yourself doing this passion in the first place. It must have been because you saw somebody doing this. You got inspiration from somebody at some point, right? I would urge you to become a fan of that content again. What I mean is, put down the camera for a little while, stop editing a video, go and enjoy some of the content. Unplug from the creative process for a bit and just become a viewer again just for a little while. I'm speaking from experience because when I feel burnt out of the things I'm passionate about, it helps so much to go back and actually watch creators. And the reason I'm making the assumption that you're not doing that is because I don't do it. I don't do it nearly enough. I make videos about YouTube growth and I forget to continue to watch my colleagues in other channels also make their growth videos. I have to constantly remind myself to say, hey, what is so-and-so up to right now? How have their videos been doing in this space? So maybe you are a gaming channel and you started out by watching a bunch of other gaming channels. And so you're like, I'm going to turn on my console. I'm going to start recording. And in that process, you lost some time because you're making videos and you're not spending enough time watching other creators to just kind of remind yourself that, oh yeah, I actually enjoy watching this too. I find when I turn off the content creation part of my brain, it helps recharge it a little bit. I get inspiration kind of passively from the world around me, from watching different videos, from taking a walk, for whatever it might be. The creative battery recharges when I take a step back. That is how I overcome burnout. At the end of the day, my core message is to stop looking for shortcuts. Follow your passion, and remember, there's a whole group of people who like the things that you like, who are willing to watch those videos. I do respect there is a technical aspect to this, so this is one of our more technical videos about video editing that can help you in that regard. But I do hope this video was helpful to you as well.